All right, let's jump right in. We've all been there with AI, right? You ask it to do something, and it comes back with something absolutely brilliant, until it doesn't. One minute it's a creative genius, and the next it's just confidently making stuff up. The power is there for sure, but the reliability? Not always. So today, we're going to look at a whole new way of thinking about AI, moving past the simple chatbot to build something you can actually depend on, a true digital employee.
So this is really the core of the issue right here. It's a tale of two AIs. Over on one side, you've got your standard AI chatbot. It's fantastic for brainstorming, for coming up with wild ideas, but it's also forgetful and honestly super unpredictable. But on the other side, that's the goal, a professional AI agent. This is an AI that's deterministic, meaning it follows a plan every time. It's reliable, so you get consistent results. And it's autonomous, so it can handle complex jobs all by itself. We're going to explore how to bridge that massive gap between the two. I mean, does this feel familiar to you? It's like you're working with this brilliant intern who is just incredibly smart, but also has a terrible memory and a bad habit of just winging it when they don't know the answer. This is a huge problem in the AI world. You've got hallucinations, which is a fancy way of saying the AI just invents facts. And then there's context amnesia, where it totally forgets what you told it 5 minutes ago. You can't really build anything serious on a foundation that shaky, can you?
So what if you could change that? What if you could take all that raw, brilliant potential and put it through a real training program? Turn that flaky intern into a dependable, senior-level digital engineer. Well, that's the whole idea behind something called the Context Engineering Platform. And it's not just another app or tool. It's a full-on system designed to take a vague human idea and forge it into a production-ready, autonomous system.
So how does that transformation actually happen? Well, it's not just a flick of a switch. It's a structured, 4-stage onboarding process. We're going to walk through each of these stages and see exactly how a general-purpose AI gets trained, gets equipped, and becomes a specialized, reliable digital worker. Let's get into how this is built, starting with stage 1. The best way to think about this is like an employee handbook, or the company rulebook. Before our new digital employee can do any work, it has to understand the rules of the game. So this first step is all about laying down a crystal-clear foundational set of instructions. And this rulebook has an official name. It's an Advanced Standard Operating Procedure, or SOP. Now, this isn't something you write by hand. The system generates it after reading and analyzing all the documents and reference materials you give it. This SOP becomes the ultimate source of truth for the AI. It sets the boundaries, the logic, and the exact step-by-step process it has to follow to get the job done right.
So why is this so important? Well, first off, it provides the guardrails for the AI's thinking. These rules keep it from hallucinating or going off on some random tangent. This makes sure that the agent's logic is perfectly lined up with your specific requirements. The end result is a deterministic, repeatable blueprint for every single task. No more guesswork.
Okay, so our digital employee has read the rulebook, it knows what it's supposed to do. But knowing the rules and actually doing the work are two different things. It needs the right tools for the job. And that brings us to stage 2, the toolbox.
This is the part where the abstract instructions from the rulebook become real-world capabilities. The system puts together what's called a skill package, and really it's just a bundle of technical tools, things like little helper scripts or specific data templates. You could say if the SOP is the brain, then the skill package, well, that gives the AI its hands.
And you absolutely need this step. It's what gives the AI the concrete ability to actually execute the plan. Because let's be real, one of the biggest weaknesses of these big language models is that they are terrible at formatting things consistently. By generating these specific scripts and templates, this stage guarantees the output is clean, valid, and ready to go every single time. All right, so we have the rules and we have the tools. What's the next logical step? You need a detailed project plan that brings it all together. So welcome to stage 3, where the system maps out the entire workflow from beginning to end.
This project plan is called agentic scaffolding, but you can just think of it as a flight plan for the AI agent. The system looks at the rules from the SOP, checks out the tools in the skill package, and then automatically figures out how everything connects. It literally creates a task graph that shows the exact sequence of steps and which specific tool to use for each one. The value here is just huge. This automates what is normally a very manual and very error-prone process. Instead of a developer having to sit there and write a bunch of complicated code to connect everything, this platform just generates it all automatically. That means the agent is ready to run right away, which saves a ton of time and prevents a lot of headaches.
So those first 3 stages build a really solid, reliable agent for any given task. But the 4th and final stage, this is what makes this system a total game changer. This is where we give our digital employee a perfect, persistent memory.
This right here is the long-term brain of our digital employee. It's called the GCC memory architecture, and it's designed to solve that context amnesia, that flaky intern problem once and for all. This is especially critical for big, complex projects that might take hours or even days to finish.
So how does it work? Well, it basically operates like the version control software that developers use, like Git. The AI can create a branch to try out a new idea without messing up the main plan. If an idea works, it can commit that success as a milestone. Then it can merge that new knowledge back into its main strategy. And this is the best part, if it makes a mistake, you can just roll back its memory to a previous perfect state.
So what's the bottom line here? It means the AI never forgets what it learned before. It learns from its successes, and just as important, it never, ever repeats the same mistake twice. It can work on a project for days and then pick it up right where it left off with perfect recall.
And look, you don't need to be an expert on all the technical guts of this thing, but it's good to know that it's built in layers for security and stability. You've got the service layer, which is the brains of the operation. The API layer acts as a secure gateway for all communication. The core engine is the stable infrastructure keeping it all running, and on top of everything, there's a privacy layer that acts as a guardian, automatically protecting your sensitive data.
Ultimately, when you put all of these pieces together, you get this fundamental shift. The end result is not just another chatbot. What you have is a senior-level digital engineer with a persistent, version-controlled memory. It's an AI you can actually onboard, train, and trust to get the job done.
And this really leaves us with one last big question that could change how we think about all of this. Just take a second and really imagine, what could you build if you had a team of digital engineers who learned from every single task, got better with every project, and never, ever forgot a lesson? The possibilities are pretty incredible to think about.